Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Informed in 5. Today's guests are with Families as Allies, and they will be sharing information about their monthly group meetings that focus on parent peer support coaching. Thank you all for joining me today.
Well, we really appreciate being here and thank you for inviting us. And we really appreciate our partnership with Mississippi PTI too. And I'm Joy Hogue and I'm the Executive Director of Families as Allies. And I'll let y'all introduce yourselves.
I'm Nikki Flippins, and I'm a parent, and I also do some contract work with Families as Allies.
Hi, I'm Henry Moore. I'm a parent, and I'm the Director of Family-Driven Practice at Families as Allies.
And so are you guys good if I start off telling a little bit about our group and then we can all chime in?
Sounds great.
All right. So I think everyone knows we're the only statewide organization run by and for families of children with behavioral health challenges. And we support each other and we work together to make things better for our children. And as part of supporting each other, one thing we do is we bring together families who are parents who are supporting other parents in different systems so that they can support each other and that we can support them, and also make sure that work in the state is being coordinated across systems. We're really glad that the systems are recognizing the importance of parent-to-parent peer support, but we want to make sure that being delivered with the way we know at the national level is most helpful and coordinated with each other. So we do a lot with supporting parents who are doing that work in looking at best practices and national standards. And part of this is this coaching group. So it meets on the third Wednesday of every month at noon. And any parent providing support to other parents can sign up for it. And I'll turn it over to Nikki and Henry and they can tell more details.
Yeah, in this group, I think one thing we find is that when we're out there doing this type of work, that we're not alone, and some of the challenges or even some of the things we celebrate, we do them together. So it's more of a group that support each other, and we're all in here together.
I think it's an important opportunity for people who are doing the work to have someone else that they can collaborate with. Sometimes there are some similar things that surface among the people who are attending, and they're able to talk and get ideas and insight from other people who may be struggling in some of the same areas. And also, they may not feel like they're having a lot of success, but when they start collaborating with other people, sometimes they're able to see how far they've come and how much growth they're seeing with the families that they're supporting. And I think that's important in order to keep people encouraged to keep doing the work.
And you made me think of something else, Nikki. A lot of times people will be sharing things and they'll be from different systems, but their experiences are really similar. Especially, I think one thing we've seen, and it was heightened during COVID, is people would sometimes have a conflict between supporting the families they were working with and what their agency was expecting of them. And sometimes that was because their agency, like a mental health center or healthcare center, didn't know a lot about how parents support other parents and what those people providing that peer support were doing. There were just a lot of reasons, but we also can bring families together at the systems level to look at things like that and how to make them better, because maybe that means that the agencies that employ these parents, and I'm not talking about a family-run organization like PTI or Families as Allies, because I think this doesn't really come up with that. But if it's an organization that provides a health service and they're also providing parent peer support specialists, maybe they need more training and maybe they need more support in what parent peer support is and how to use those people. And it could also be that there's policies that need to change that will help make parent-peer support work better so that the end user, that parent who needs help finding services and support for their children, get the help that they need. So this group also allows those kinds of system level changes. And that's a lot different than one person saying, well, I'm going to go tell the director of my agency that I think we should do it this way, because maybe that's not the best way to do it. And also that sort of putting yourself in a vulnerable spot. But if we can bring everybody together and say, these are some trends we're seeing, and maybe we need to look at these policies, maybe we need to look at some training, that can make a difference for the whole system without putting one person on the spot or just relying on one person's experience. Like, I got mad, so I think we should all do this. So that's another benefit of the group.
Yes, and we share. I mean, I don't think we have the answer. I don't think there's just one answer. So we share and we brainstorm and we talk about situations and how we can better support families when I'm in a certain type of situation. If that made any sense.
Absolutely. And there aren't, there's, in most situations, including this group, there's not the one perfect answer, typically, the one answer, and certainly not a perfect answer. But we also try to use national standards, like the National Federation of Families, which is our national organization that is based on parent-to-parent support. And they've recently expanded their mission, and they have a TA center about this, about parent-to-parent support across, first of all, populations, and then across the lifespan, which is really helpful. And looking at how can that be supported across the country. And they have like some national, they have a national code of ethics, not national competencies, and they actually have a national certification exam that might eventually be something Mississippi wants to look at. But those things give us some guidelines. So when you're dealing with those real world situations that are so hard to grapple with and there's no perfect answers, it's wonderful to have just sort of a framework to work with. So that's the framework we use. And we found it to be really helpful. So it's not just, this is what Henry thinks, or this is what Joy thinks, but like, what are some things that might be agreed upon starting points for grappling with those things that are really hard? Because there are a lot of things that come up that are really hard. And we started this group. It was already planned in February of 2020. So we had the introductory group. And then the next month, everyone had been sent home because of COVID. It was like, what in the world do we do? So it has been a really interesting journey.
I think another area that it has helped individuals is that a lot of the families that find themselves in different systems and with different agencies really got interested in doing this kind of work because they found some challenges personally in their own life, and they've worked the system in many ways for their own child and their own family, and then maybe unofficially in some ways started helping other people that they came in contact. So now that they're in a more formal system as far as it being a job, I think the group helps them transition into the responsibilities that come with working for someone else. That it helps them work through some of those things that Joy talked about, because it is a difference between deciding to help my neighbor or my friend as a personal favor or support for them, as opposed to stepping out and saying, I'm going to work for this particular agency under this particular system. There are other guidelines and stipulations that you have to adhere to. And sometimes that's something that's helpful, being able to talk to other people who are in that same similar situation, because not everybody's doing it from a professional standpoint, continuously. So that, I think that's a difference that they have to recognize and know that they have certain things that they have to adhere to.
I totally agree, because sometimes we can get into that, I'm the superhero and I'm going out to save. I'm going out to save this family, and we have our background music on, and we think we have the answer because we really want to help families, and it's good to have those those national standards and things that we can learn. This is how we do this. This is a profession. You can still have that same passion, but it's also a profession.
Right. And then another thing that's helped in this group, I think, is we can bring to the table structures that exist in Mississippi that families should be able to access. Because I think there's this feeling when you're a parent helping another parent, I mean, you know what you went through and you just want to do everything in the world. So you try to be the whole system for another family and help them get everything, but helping parents who are doing this work with others to access what's already out there. Like we do a lot in the mental health systems with MAP teams, which really would benefit children in all the systems, which are groups that can help children who are about ready to be placed outside the home because of some sort of behavioral health challenge. Things like that, that people may not know about, or they may not have thought were out there, or they may not know that's what that team is supposed to do. So things like that. So I think that's been another benefit.
Well, thank y'all for sharing that information. And if you would like to, share information about how anyone interested could start attending these meetings, and maybe just share a little bit of that, like where they can get the information for these monthly meetings.
They are on our website under the event section, and it's Parent Peer Support Coaching, or support for parents supporting other parents in any system. And third Wednesday of every month at noon. You can also get that information by subscribing to our newsletter. And we've got a lot of information in our newsletter, and would encourage anyone to sign up for that. You can text Family 19 to 22828 to get on our email list, or do it through our website. And then we try to get all these put on Facebook too. And if all else fails, you can call our office. But we do registration, because for one thing, we're tracking who's coming from what systems. So that gives us some idea of where what the issues are, what the interest level is, that type of thing. And then some of our funding sources require that we track, how many people from their system came. So we do registration for those reasons, and also to keep out Zoom bombers. So we would love for anyone doing parent-to-parent support in any system to join us. And it doesn't have to be someone who's doing it in a paid role. We also include those families like Nikki was talking about, who are just out in their community, and they've become that person that everybody goes to, because we want them to have that support too. So we really appreciate this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you all for joining me today. And I will be sure to post all of this information, your contact information, website, Facebook link, all of that will be in this post. So people will have easy access to get in touch with you and learn more about this group, and hopefully participate in it in the months to come. So again, thank you all for joining me today, and I hope y'all all have a great day.
Okay, thanks. Thanks, Brittany.
Thanks, Brittany.
Thanks.